Monday, August 3rd, 2026, Oakwood City Council meeting to order. Would you please rise and join me with the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I, excuse me, may I have a roll call, please, Lori?
Mayor Duncan?
Here.
Vice Mayor Byington?
Here.
Mrs. Turbin?
Here.
Mr. Dorff?
Here.
And may I have a motion to excuse Councilmember Jackson from tonight's meeting? She joined our work session via Zoom, but she is out of town on vacation. So we have from Sam, a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, so ordered. And do we have a report on our minutes of July 20, 2026 regular session and work session, and our July 29th, 2026 executive session? Councilmember Dorff.
Yes, I reviewed the minutes from all three sessions. I viewed them as correct and complete. I recommend that we approve those minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, so ordered. Under status reports, we have no status reports this evening, so we will go to our visitors portion of our meeting, and this would be the time if anyone wishes to address council. They could come down to the podium and state their name and address for the record, and we welcome you. Anybody wish to address council? Okay. Do you, no? You should do that now. Yeah. Thank you. Again, state your name and address for the record, although I know who you are.
I'm Karen Bartley, 129 Oak Knoll Drive. I see that one of the names on the list of people who have the weed problem, apparently, is
I can't hear you.
on the list of people who are having weeds in their yards, noxious weeds.
Oh, right.
One of them is my neighbor, and I have just recently, in the last few weeks, started helping her with things. She's had some health issues, and she walks with a walker. And so about 3 weeks ago, I started helping her, like putting her trash out. And I noticed that her backyard is really overgrown, and I thought about it at the time that I should ask the guy who lives next to her if he and I should clear some of that. And now I saw her name on the list, and I'm kind of wishing I had done that sooner. So is that a possibility at this point, or is it too late?
I'll turn that over to you, Rob.
Well, the costs have already been incurred at this point.
Okay.
But they don't get certified to the county auditor for another, we do the legislation tonight, and it gets certified in a couple weeks.
Okay.
There's still time for her to pay that invoice, but I wouldn't wait.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll just try to be on top of that and help her in the future.
And if to the extent that you are able to do that, that would help her going forward too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know we have a couple people on this list. I saw where at least two of the taxpayers had passed away.
Yes, her husband is on there, and he
Okay.
has passed away
Is that
2 years
Baker
ago.
Ray?
Yeah, Ray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address council at this time? All right, we will close our visitor section, and we will go to legislation. And the question is in play for a resolution by Councilmember Turbin.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Okay. This is a resolution to authorize and direct the Director of Finance to certify certain delinquent charges for cutting noxious weeds and nuisance plant material to the county auditor for collection. Each year, the city incurs costs for mowing and clearing overgrown yards and removing nuisance plant material when owners do not take care of their property or cannot take care of their property. The city bills the property owners for those costs, and most of them do pay. For those who have not paid, this is an annual resolution to certify the cost to the county auditor so that they can be added to the tax bill for each separate property. This certification includes 11 properties at a total outstanding dollar of $3,753.51. and I move that council adopt this resolution.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions for Councilmember Turbin? Hearing none. Lori, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Duncan,
Yes?
Vice Mayor Byington.
Yes.
Mrs. Turbin,
Yes?
Mr. Dorf.
Yes.
Thank you. And then Vice Mayor Byington also has an ordinance.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a piece of proactive legislation. The ordinance calls for the enaction of a new section 145.10 contract provisions of the Oakwood Administrative Code to prohibit the inclusion of certain terms in the city's public contracts. This is a first reading of an addition to the city's purchasing ordinance. Ohio law prohibits municipalities from signing certain kinds of contract provisions that are otherwise common in the private sector. For example, cities are not allowed to agree to indemnify another party, and they are not allowed to sign a contract that imposes a confidentiality requirement that violates the Ohio Public Records Act. Most contractors understand these legal requirements and take these provisions out when they are dealing with a public entity like the City of Oakwood. But sometimes contractors who work on a national or even a global scale do not understand the legal requirements that are specific to Ohio, and they may be unwilling to amend their form documents. The law director has recommended that we update our purchasing ordinance to prohibit these unlawful contract terms, ensuring that the city is now not bound by provisions that a contractor may refuse to delete. So this is a first reading of this ordinance, so I will make no motion at this time. We'll revisit it again.
Thank you. We'll deal with that at our next regularly scheduled meeting in September. That concludes our legislation this evening, and we do have a staff report on our human resources, and Sangita Anand. We welcome you to City Council. Is this your first report to?
I think so, Mayor.
Okay, very
Usually
good.
Norb used to
So-
do that.
We'll have a, hopefully you won't get as many
Sangita.
questions as our chief engineer got last month. So,
I saw that, and I think you guys are all very lovely.
okay.
Hey, what did he say about us?
But anyways, thank you for giving the opportunity to update the HR department activities and accomplishment for 2026. So tonight's presentation is an overview of HR department as a strategic partner to different departments to attract, develop, and retain the qualified workforce while ensuring the compliance and supporting the city's goals. So tonight's presentation highlights 7 key areas: workforce planning, recruitment and retention, employee development and safety, wellness and benefits, labor relation, organizational support, and the last one, not the least, is the 2026 HR accomplishments and priorities and 2027 goals. Planning and recruitment. So building a strong workforce is HR focus right now, and working very closely with the department supervisors and department heads to understand their staffing needs, attracting and retaining qualified candidates, and plan for the future workforce. So this year, recruitment efforts resulted in HR hired 13 seasonal and part-time employees, which includes day camp leaders, seasonal groundkeepers, custodian, finance interns, seasonal income tax clerk, and crossing guards. We filled 7 critical positions, which are utility foreman, parks and rec foreman, recreation coordinator, water plant superintendent, and refuse collection driver 3, and drug driver 1, and general service worker, all originating from the Public Works Department. But currently, recruitment is underway for the full-time custodian for OCC, and dispatcher, water and sewer technician, and teen monitors. OCC is getting ready for the teen monitors now. So succession planning is, we are continuing, and that is the priority for the HR. We manage staffing transition due to retirements, resignations, and military leave. Just promoting qualified internal candidates and creating advancement opportunities. and maintaining the operational needs and continuity of the city. Recruitment process and onboarding. So we have also improved drastically our recruitment process, forming interview panels with the representative from different departments to provide the broader perspective of the recruitment, updating every job description before we put any vacancy out, making it sure that duties are accurately, duties are accurately reflected for the operational needs, and standardize the interview questions and criteria, evaluation criteria too. So employee onboarding is our next, huge improvement we have done. We have enhanced our onboarding process by coordinating with supervisors and department heads. When new employees brought on board, we make it sure the equipment, technology, workspace, everything is ready for the employee to start the first employment date. And each new employee goes through a structure orientation and a tour of city buildings, all of it, and introductions to the employees from the various departments. So that makes a very positive first day experience for the employee, and that goes a long way for us to retain the employees and give them a very good, first day impression. And because that also increases the productivity. The employee kind of, starts the productivity, because if their first time impression is good, they like to stay and be productive. Investing in employees. So investing in employees is an investment for the city's future. HR is the strategic priority. This is HR's strategic priorities, one of them. We have coordinated this year new employee orientation, which provides employee kind of a, the first day when we orient them, it provides them the organization culture, personnel policies, employee benefits, any personnel safety expectation, work expectations, and any other available resources we provide them. And that makes a kind of a package for the employees to, if there's any question, they know where to go to the supervisor or the HR department. We have provided the leadership and professional development for the employees. This year, a lot of employees attended the supervisory training because they are newly promoted through the MVCTG. And we are keeping a track of a required certification, for example, for the water plant superintendent and for the water and sewer technician. It is very important to hold the required certification. Every 2 years or 3 years, they have to go for the renewal. So workplace safety is also very important. HR coordinated participation in the Safety Council workshop and participated in the transitional work program supported by the Bureau of Workers' Compensation. These efforts are producing very positive results. In 2023, we had about 12 workers' comp claims, and 4 claims were lost time. Lost time means productivity, losing the productivity. So this year, we are happy to announce that till this date, we have just the 6 medical claims. Only 1 claim is the lost time, which we are working through it through the transitional workforce program. We want to bring the employee back on the light duty so that there's no work loss. So that impacts our reserve in the workers' comp claims and all that. We have also done the regulatory and the compliance training. Employees have completed FISH, recognizing cybersecurity training, fraud reporting training through Auditor of State, and other requirements. Any compliance like ethics training, we are keeping track of it. And also the Public Works employees, we went ahead and completed trench and excavation safety training and chainsaw safety training. So which is very, very important for the safety of the Public Works employees. By providing these kind of education and keeping track of all these required certifications, we help employees work safely and be compliant. and B, continue developing them professionally too. And HR also keeps track of, along with the other certifications, we do perform annual driver license check because they are all at the Public Works CDL holders and the public safety. So it is very important for the employees to be compliant with that. Employee wellness and benefits. Employee wellness is another important investment in our workforce. HR is continuously working with the health committee and city insurance broker and the wellness vendor to improve employees' health and manage the healthcare cost, which is a big right now. So wellness initiative, what we have taken this year is we have performed 2 on-site biometric screening, 4 wellness portal education session, educating the employees how it is important for them to participate in the wellness program and how to connect with the primary care physicians and go for the preventive care visits, which is very important. This year we have met, it's happy to announce this, we have met the preventive care visit, which is about 36.49, and we have qualified for the Medical Mutual Wellness Fund this year. So continuous participation and prevention in these kind of wellness initiatives strengthen our long-term healthcare strategy and improve opportunities to join health insurance consortium in the future. And this year, we are very happy to announce that we did one more. Another resource we provided to the employees for the mental health care through One Morning, along with the EAP. You know, it is very important for an employee to have the strategic impact as when physical and mental health is good for an employee, the productivity increases.
Mm-hmm.
Labor relations and organizational support. Supporting city operations. HR provides guidance to the employment laws to all the employees throughout the year. Compliance and policies like FMLA administration, workers' compensation, personal policies and regulation. This year we did personal regulation, a part of it. One section which is the vacation accrual and usage, and as well as sick leave payout provision upon retirement. That verbiage was not very clear and clean, so we clarified that so that employees are able to understand easily. So we updated that. And the other employment law compliance, we are making it sure every job description, what we are updating, we are making it sure that working environment and the conditions are all the same and kind of elaborated in every job descriptions, which our initial old job descriptions don't have it that clearly. And all the employment laws changing every single day, it has to be updated, kept on. So labor relation, HR is right now in collective bargaining in negotiation with the Public Works unit right now. We are hoping, and we are very closely working with the union leadership and the employees and management to make it sure that we close it. We are going to close it very soon. Okay. So performance management, this year HR has also worked on developing a standardized performance evaluation matrix to improve consistency throughout the departments. Because everybody has got a different evaluation form, we are working on it to just make one matrix for the non-union, then we'll proceed with the union. We have cleaned it up, hopefully we'll be launching in 2027. We also send reminders at this point to all the department heads and the supervisor to make it sure their evaluations, they do it timely so that we can process them in timely manner. That is one of very important for the employees, you know, if the evaluation is not done on the time. Mm-hmm. 2026 HR accomplishments. Till this date, we have done 11 updated job descriptions, 20 vacancies filled, 4 in progress, 3 supported promotions, internal promotions we have done, 6 trainings we have conducted, 7 wellness initiatives we have taken, 1 negotiation is in progress, 4 retirements and departures, and continuous support of compliance support for the employment laws. Looking ahead, The rest of the year, HR priorities are still, what we have 4 vacancies, which we are kind of working on it to fill those vacancies. Keep on working on the employee development, looking for other trainings. Wellness program, we are going to give a lot of push to it so that we can meet our level reward. And labor relation, as I said, we will be closing it soon. And recruitment and retention, we are keep on working on that, making it sure we are advertising all the job ads in proper channels, and kind of reaching out to the college students, reaching out to the school students to see we can fill those positions. Healthcare cost, we are working on it, continuously. Health committee in hand-to-hand, a lot of feedback we are getting from the other departments when they're representing the health committee, and they're helping and supporting, kind of bringing us what employee wants, what they are looking at. It's kind of, collectively we are working on it. Succession planning is very, very important, and that is for us, the top priority. We are preparing departments and the supervisors to make it sure whatever the retirement and resignation we cannot predict, but retirements we can. So how to control that and how to make it sure that enough time is given for the new employee who's coming on board to have enough time to train with the outgoing employee. 2027 goals for HR. The 2027 main goal is the personal regulation update. It is a huge project, and our personal regulation has not been updated for last probably 20 years. So it is really a time for us to update that, and that will be a huge project. We will be working very closely with the outside legal counsel and Rob to make it sure that it's all updated, and what other department heads' feedback also, because sometimes some of the regulation, when we circulate amongst the department head, we get the feedback, what exactly works in their department and what exactly is needed. Leadership training is another one. We are going for expanding the leadership training for mid-level supervisors too. And we are kind of exploring CLG. That's our local, here, kind of association, a lot of networking in the payroll, water department, surrounding municipalities and townships are part of it. So that they develop the leadership trainings, and our target is to at least every year start having 6-7 mid-level supervisors also to do the leadership training. Health insurance and wellness, of course, we are going to keep on pushing, to join the consortium. Hopefully, we are able to join the consortium, if not this year, so next year, because wellness initiatives, and when we show that, and preventive care is also very a major part of it, to join the consortium when they project our premium cost. Workforce retention, that is ongoing always, to make it sure the employee have a pleasant experience, and having kind of training the supervisor to connect with the employees, to make it sure every month they are meeting them, trying to understand their needs, what is working, what is not working, so constant improvement will be on there. And of course, looking for onboarding and orientation feedback all the time. We are open for that. That's all for tonight, and any questions?
Do we have any questions for Sangeeta?
You've been busy.
You name it.
To have filled 20 vacancies, how many employees do we employ today?
We have full-time and the part-time equivalent. We have right now 90.
Okay, so 20, that's considerable. Well, good job, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I do remember, Sangeeta, when in '24, when council was looking to hire a city manager to replace Norb Klops, who retired, we had a search, and we had, I think, 7 or 8 candidates, and we asked each one of them, the council asked each one of them in the recruiting meeting, and every one of the candidates said their 2 biggest concerns they have as being a city manager is how to deal with our infrastructure cost and how to deal with personnel relations, because the workforce is changing. We had gone for a very long time in Oakwood with little or no turnover, and a lot of these retirements, came to pass.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate your efforts in working with our city manager, Katie, on dealing with this in a effective manner. So
Yeah,
we
good job.
congratulate you for your efforts and supporting the employees of the city as well as the citizens of the city.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilman.
Can I ask a quick question, just to
Sure,
follow up? You mentioned
absolutely.
a number of times that retention is a huge priority.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit, or help us understand what are some of the current challenges? The mayor hinted at some of them, but what are some of the current challenges for workforce retention that a city like Oakwood faces? I'm not asking about the universe, the whole world, but
Right.
what are some of our
The,
challenges?
currently, with the retirement, when the X, Generation X and a lot of are retiring, the Generation Z and the early millennials are a little kind of challenging right now, because what we are competing, it's just not what they are looking at the salary, that what we are giving them, or benefits what they are giving them. A lot of candidates we have come across is they are more concerned about what they call as work-life balance. That is so much every candidate keeps on saying what the work-life balance is. So it's more what I have come through in my experience is more like, they want to know the culture. They want to know what exactly, because private sector is giving so much, like hybrid work from home. We cannot do it in the local government, and it is not possible. So to compensate that, we compensate with the benefits, And, but constantly they just, it's the age, they just don't want to stay more than 3 years. They just don't want to. It is like, oh, culture. Culture is not, what exactly in the culture you want, So that's why we are trying to having those feedback from the interviews and the candidates. We started this kind of onboarding, making it easy, introduction, because they feel, oh, I'm on Silo Island. I don't know how to interact with the other department employees or other department heads. So it's kind of bringing them that onboarding process of the orientation, making them welcome that they are part of the family. Because that work-life balance is the main, making them relax, that it is the family you can share, and promoting the mental health is big nowadays with the workforce. They want to talk openly, they want to have that resource. So welcoming them without any fear that they can walk into the HR department and talk confidentially what they are going through. Not throwing them under the bus, or they will be penalized because they kind of talked about it. Sometimes, employees are not comfortable talking to their direct supervisor, talking to the department head. So there's nothing wrong, coming to the HR department, and HR department working with the department heads and the supervisor and the city manager to make it sure how we can resolve it. So that's the main in the recruitment process we are seeing. They constantly bring that up, and then they just don't. So it's very important to touch base with them on a monthly basis. With them, that is very important. That makes them a part of the family.
Thank you for sharing that and building a culture of care for our community.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
So it is now time for our city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Few updates this morning, or this afternoon, this evening, whatever time it is.
So much for your work-life balance. Okay.
That sums it up right there. The Montgomery County Auditor's Office will host a property tax reappraisal presentation on Wednesday at 6:00 p.m. at the Wright Memorial Library. The session's going to explain the countywide reappraisal process. So this includes how property taxes are determined and the appeal process for homeowners. So if any of you have questions about your upcoming property valuation, I encourage you to attend. Our annual ice cream social is this weekend. This year event has several exciting additions, including food vendor trucks, which we've never had before, along with some family-friendly activities. We're also continuing for the second year in a row to partner with Green Oakwood to make this a low waste celebration. So we will have composting stations and staffed recycling areas, as well as Dayton's Bring Back the Tap water trailer to help reduce the single-use plastic bottles. So we hope that you'll join us for a really fun afternoon with friends, neighbors, and the community. Hope to see you there. Our Parks and Recreation Department reports that there's still plenty of opportunities to enjoy these remaining days of summer. This Wednesday, we have a free Orchardly Park Craft Day from 1:30 to 3 o'clock, so please visit the city's website or the Parks and Recs page for additional information or instructions on how to register. The city contracted with a consultant by the name of Raftellus to complete a 20-year water CIP plan. Like many communities, we're planning for a significant infrastructure investment, including a lead service line replacement program and a meter modernization project. So our next step will be to meet with some cost of service representatives that will help us build that rate structure to be able to afford those necessary infrastructure improvements. That completes my report. Any questions?
What time does the ice cream social start?
3:30.
3:30, thank you. Any other questions for our city manager? All right, hearing none, it's time for council comments, and Councilmember Dorff.
Thank you. I just want to echo what City Manager Smitty shared about the presentation by the county auditor. So if folks have questions, be sure to attend. I also want to send some hearty congratulations to 3 Oakwood residents. Jason Lindsay for his promotion to the rank of Major General in the Air Force. Tim Spalding for his nomination to promotion to the rank of Brigadier General. And to Matt Fuqua for his nomination to the promotion to Colonel in the United States Air Force. So huge congratulations to those 3 Oakwood residents that now are taking on major new roles in the United States Air Force. And for those that are Oakwood military families, I just want to remind folks that the Oakwood Military Family Picnic is August 8th from 3 to 5:30 in Smith Gardens.
Oh, that's it. Very good. Councilmember Turbin.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Well, I wanted to thank Green Oakwood for reaching out to the Dayton Country Club to offering their guidance and assistance with their new natural areas. You know, we recognize the Dayton Country Club is not in Oakwood, and so we appreciate it even more so that they wanted to do this initiative. And so we're all looking forward to seeing some natural areas at the Dayton Country Club that everyone can be proud of. And also, I'd like to give a shout out to Coach Schmitz on his retirement of 30-plus years, coaching and teaching. He was actually my son's coach and pre-calculus teacher back in 1991. There aren't too many of them still around, so congratulations, Coach Schmitz, on your well-deserved retirement.
Vice Mayor Byington.
I will just mention that, every time we have the ice cream social, what that means is the kids are going back to school. So I know that a lot of parents are excited about that. I don't know if Arrow Wine's going to make as much business as they normally have over the summer, but as the kids are going back to school, I just encourage everybody to just be very cognizant of child safety. They're going to be excited about going back to school. They're with their friends again. They're all moving in those directions towards the schools. And they might be jumping out in front of cars and doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. So, it's upon us to kind of raise our awareness, at least for the first couple of weeks. Well, always, but for those first couple of weeks, just to make sure that they get to school safely. So,
Thank you. Sunday, we had our final blanket concert that was supposed to be at Smith Gardens, and the weather, as you know, was miserable. So we moved it to the OCC. Unfortunately, there was not a lot of attendance. It was just because the weather was so bad. But after introducing the band called Smithville South Band, I stayed around and listened to several songs, and these guys are really good. We need to invite them back next year, so I might actually stay longer. But it's a 5-piece band, 4-part harmony, And, you know, they play 70s, 80s, and 90s songs mostly. So it's right up my alley. But anyway, I just want to say that's one of the other benefits we offer in Oakwood. And I think next year's program hopefully will be as good as they've been in the past several years. And our next regularly scheduled meeting is Monday, September 14th, and we are adjourned.